My name is David Arreola, and I'm running to be your Student Government Association President. The President of the Student Government Association, or SGA, is recognized by the administration as the leader of the voice of the students. That's a big responsibility, but it's also a huge chance. A chance to have the voice of the students really be heard, the issues that matter to them be settled. But it's not so easy as talking about it. The President has to have the skills, has to have qualifications to lead the organization of over 6 committees and over 20 people. I believe that I do have the skills, and I believe that I do have the qualifications and experience to be an effective leader of the Student Government Association. The reason I want to do this is because I believe that there are things on campus that are not being addressed. I believe there are accomplishments that can be made, but they have to be done with the proper leadership and the proper vision.
So when I'm talking to students, one of the questions that I'm most frequently asked is, what do I offer as a presidential candidate? And that's a really good question. And what I think that I offer is something unique, something that I don't know if any other presidential candidate in the past has ever offered, and that's a willingness to tackle SGA's biggest issue head on. And that biggest issue is our limited authority. I like the phrase limited authority because it really describes the essence of SGA's issue, which is that we only have a limited say on what can get done. There are certain things that we cannot have authority on. But we do have authority on one thing, the most important thing to me, which is what we choose to do with SGA, what ideas the leaders pursue, how we spend our time, what's our degree of dedication. And one of the ideas that I have to really tackle this issue is to deal with the decision makers on campus. There's only 3 of them: the President's Cabinet, the Board of Trustees, and the Faculty Senate. The Faculty Senate has repeatedly asked SGA to get more involved with their committees that deal with student life, internships, majors and minors, general education. These are committees that we can send SGA representatives to from the general membership or from the leadership team. We can send them to these committees. They can listen, be involved with the conversations, see what the Faculty Senate's working on, add their own input, focus on student interests. If they can get this done, then there's no limit to how much we can affect the academic policy or the student life policies on this campus. If the legislation goes through the committees and into the Faculty Senate and it's approved, it goes to the President's Cabinet. And just like that, we've already spoken to 2 decision makers on campus. But for this to be done, we're going to need committed students. We're going to need students who are really willing to get into the thick of things and make reports, meet on a weekly basis to really build a rapport and decide what's most important and what's most critical. So imagine that, an SGA that can have a say on the general education requirements, on what majors are being created, what classes should be in, what classes should be out. Think about that. That's something SGA has never done before, and I'm excited to be fully committed to that were I to be your SGA president. And I have lots of other ideas that I think SGA can do to really benefit the students. The purpose of SGA is to serve the student body as much as it can, and SGA is given a budget from the Office of Student Services. The Dean, Dean Stewart, writes the budget at the beginning of every academic year. And I'd like to do something new, something that I don't think any SGA president has ever done before, which is to ask the Dean to negotiate this budget. We wouldn't be asking for much. However, with all the initiatives that my executive board would like to plan and that the students deserve, we would like to be able to have a say in how much money SGA gets at the beginning of the year. Some of those ideas I have, the first is for SGA to co-sponsor club events. Ever since the communications lot is being closed off so that they can put up the communications building, student clubs are losing hundreds of dollars of funding that was there before, and they're struggling to find ways to make that up. One way that we can help them make it up is by SGA helping to fund their events and keeping them going, keeping the student involvement going. Student clubs are very important, and I'm committed to supporting them. A second thing we can do to help raise awareness of SGA and student clubs is by investing in student services newspaper booths. These booths will be put around the campus and would have the events and the meeting times for SGA and for student clubs, as well as other things that are going around campus, so that other students can pick them up on their own time and wouldn't have to wait for an email. So thank you for watching my announcement video. I'm really excited for this campaign to get started. Over the next 20 or so days, I'm going to be trying to meet as many students as I can and talk about the ideas and the values that I hold most important for student government. Student government can be an institution that serves the students. It can be a force for good. It can be something that we're proud of. But for it to be all of these things, we must put in more effort than has ever been made in the past. There has to be dedication. there has to be initiative, there has to be imagination, and there has to be direction. These are all the things that I'd like to apply to SGA, and I'd like for you to consider those things and consider the toughest questions when asking who would you like to see lead SGA. So what's this campaign all about? It's all about one thing, really, and that's about making SGA matter to you.